Number 6. Coming from France this year to the Berlinale is the cutie pie coming-of-age movie The World After Us, which is very charming, nice to look at, has moments that are funny, but really lacks some serious stakes in the story. It feels like a bit of a tourist marketing, showing how lovely France is with their cute young people with aspirations that are admirable, and everything just seems to work out just a little too easily without confronting or overcoming much of anything. The story is a young writer gets a book deal, starts dating a girl, moves in with her, gets distracted in this and that and this. But there, it felt like there was not a continuous moment of stress that you want to see break. On the plus side, the actors are nice to look at, and France seems like a fun place these days, and not necessarily as xenophobic as well as neoliberal hellhole that I get the sense of after the last federal election, followed by the Yellow Jacket movement. Number 5. It is fun to watch movies selected for the Berlinale or TIFF, as you will see movies from countries you seldomly or never see movies from, and that is the case with Moon 66 Questions, which is set in Athens, Greece. It is about a young woman who must take care of her sick father and the toll it takes on her life, but inversely, it creates the strong bond that had thawed out through adolescence in a movie about exchanges more than it is about suffering. The shot on video aesthetic for some scenes make it hip, and I enjoy seeing the young actors from Greece behaving on the screen naturally. Giving us, the predominantly non-Greek viewing audience, a wonderful sense of anthropology. The movie is fun, dramatic, and had some notes used at Sundance from Paul Thomas Anderson, which makes for a wonderful anecdote, but this project fits in nicely with Eurofair with the spirit of an American indie. Number 4. If you do not know anything about Belarus like me, then you should watch Courage, which shows the alarmingly totalitarian impulses in that current government and the peaceful protests unfolding currently. The only other movie from this country that I'm familiar with is Come and See, the masterful World War II movie, perhaps the greatest World War II movie of all time, and while this movie is not insignificant, it is still quality. The nonviolent protesters in Belarus deserve a documentary that is well made and not overly slick, which is what we have here. We see normal people and focus on a theater group that try to agitate change. The theater group gave a stunning statistic, which is at least 2/3 of the population cannot define the word democracy, which is so alarming to hear as a viewer, reinforcing the need of education on this topic, which you can get from Courage. Number 3. Brothers Keeper is a standard of movies I tend to associate with the programming of the Berlinale, which is international, grim, quality, and generally just filled with content not typical of usual Hollywood fare. They are far from the standard we are used to, but on the international market it is to be expected. This movie is about an oppressive boarding school for boys in Turkey, which has a relentless pace of negativity. There are moments of levity, and there are justifications for negative behavior. The feeling in the movie is highbrow, so it is not cynical, but it's not easy watching either. So if you're emotionally squeamish, stay away. But if you recently read Crime and Punishment and are begging for more sophisticated punishment, then go ahead and look for Brothers Keeper, since it has good anthropology, acting, and filmmaking in general. Number 2. The Finnish movie Any Day Now looks at an Iranian family seeking refuge in that country, which makes it on the surface a contemporary topical movie, but what stands out to me are the inspired, life-loving moments. It is a boy going to a teenage house party, and a boy asking his father how he should talk to girls. It only takes the form of something topical to smuggle in a more interesting and insightful cultural movie. When you see these moments, it reminds me that we do not need to fear different cultures that share the universal human experience, and the foreign film market is a great way to break down some of these cultural assumptions. The movie is not a perfect piece of work, but it has those interesting moments that work for me in a drama. It has levity, an exuberant embrace of life that is refreshing to see in a movie that could have been angry throughout. Number 1. The miniseries The Last Days of Gilda is 4 episodes, so if you binge them, it is basically a 2-hour movie, and it is certainly one of the coolest things I've seen in my entire life from South America, I am happy to say. It is based on a one-woman play from 2003, but is more reflective of fundamentalism in Bolsonaro's Brazil, and shows how intimidating it is in a repressive culture to spend time focusing on a woman who is free. The unwavering nature of Gilda makes her a great character to try and identify with, and I was really hooked in with the image of her cleaning her knives in a red color filter, and the opening credits is really intimidating and impressive. The intelligent grittiness stays throughout most scenes with great acting, writing that will make you want to binge the whole thing, making it like a chopped up movie reminiscent to me of Rainer Werner Fassbinder's Berlin Alexanderplatz.